Today, I'm going to be showing you how to get rich in Adopt Me to turn your inventory from this to this. And now, bear in mind, some of these methods do take a bit more time than others. Some of them are a little bit easier than others. However, all of them have proof to them as well. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also a code word for today, so I know you did not skip this intro, is rich. Starting off, now people really underestimate this, but this is the #1 method I always talk about. Now, as you can probably see from here, I have a lot of pets in the pet pen, which I'm going to be opening. That is the #1 thing, opening your eggs. I know you can use the opening by the, pet pen, or opening them just manually, And look, from that, I've got one ultra rare, snow puma, snow cats, and then a beaver. But just opening eggs in general can be very useful because one, it gets you randoms, and from those randoms you can trade randoms. Or you could take the pets, see how I got the 2 snow cats, get your duplicates and make them neon, make them mega neon, and trade those for better or higher pets. Depending on the month as well, some pets are looked for a bit more, maybe I would say the least looked for pets right now, or I would say Halloweenish pets, but Christmas pets are quite looked for. There's also another thing though, is different times of when pets are wanted in a way. So in say Christmas pets during Christmas, any Christmas event pets are most looked for during Christmas or winter times. Summer event pets, summertime, Halloween. But after those times, so say the Easter event, after the Easter event, say during Christmas, they'll be looked for. They'll not have much looked for-ish or demand, meaning that they won't have that much value to them. So it means that you could really get a good few for it, depending on the pet, obviously. So that's tip #1, right? Aging, opening eggs and stuff, because it is the most basic thing, I know. However, it is quite useful. Trust me, I've opened nearly 5,000 eggs on adoptme. It's very helpful and also just making the neons and mega neons as well. A sidetrack from that is trading your neons and mega neons. You could also trade them for say okay, so what I get is when people offer me for my neons, because I age up a lot of pets, is 4 of the same plus ads, because people taking time to age pets does take a lot of time depending on the pet. Legendary, as everyone knows, takes forever, and honestly, it's not that. It's really a lot of time. However, from that time spent, people will give an overpay plus the pets as well for a neon version or mega, depending on what it is, a mega legendary that, if someone has want to offer for it, an overpay, it just kind of depends. It varies, but most likely, if it's a common, you might not get much of an overpay, but if it's a legendary, they don't want to age up kind of thing, then you might get a better overpay. But as I say, varies depending on many different things. Okay, tip #2. Now, this one involves trading, which everyone knows is a very big part of adoptme. But however, this one is one I'm going to really dive into because this one is quite thingy. So going back to what I said before about different times and events, like summer, winter, autumn, Halloween, Christmas, and stuff like that. Now, depending on that, and depending on the event, so during the butterfly event that happened in, I think, July-ish, I don't fully remember, but never mind that. What it was, during that event, I made sure to collect as many of the orchid as possible, and I made a mega orchid. Now, mine being, you had to spend 200 Robux to get a goldenrod flower, which I do still have a few of them, and then throw it and have the 2.5% chance of getting an orchid. Now, the orchid butterfly is a very, very exotic pet. It was very looked for during the event. However, when it left the event, it went up. People were looking for it a lot. So trading event pets after the event as well with it though, it just kind of depends. So that was kind of the Robux pet of the event, But there has been some times where it's not been the Robux pet that has been the pet that has gained a lot of value after the event has left. It does vary between, but it is most likely, it is usually the, Robux pet. But there is the odd time where it isn't the Robux pet and people are very easily able to get it, but people who have missed it aren't able to. One thing I will say though is trading pets from when they first joined the game to then That's the thing. Another thing is always too is like if you get the event pets first, like if you like grind and you really work for it and you get a mega neon or just a regular of the event pet, a special one, you could possibly trade it for an overpay as people are really wanting to try and get it, as the hype of it is very new. If it's like just arrived like day one, then the hype of it is a lot. But as it continues, it will lose hype kind of thing as more people start to get it. But I would say is if you are like thingy, like trading for an event pet the moment, like getting it and then trading it the moment you get it, especially during the event, and hopefully if it's on day one, then you'll get like an overpay possibly, but it does depend. Okay, another tip number 3 is building and decorating houses. Now I know you must be thinking like, what do you mean? Well, in adoptme you can decorate houses, basically redesign them, build them, do glitch builds if you know what that means. It does basically making a house bigger than it actually is. One thing is, so it is a bit of give and take. What it is basically is that it's a lot of bucks. Now, bucks in adoptme is not quite easy to get. It's like, you know, you have to grind a lot, work a lot, and it does cost a lot. Building houses are expensive, but however, you could flip that bucks into basically really good stuff. Like I remember one of my friends, I don't know if I got a photo. If I got the photo, I'll show it. They traded a house for an owl. Now that was insane. I honestly, when I saw the house, I was like, oh yeah, no, never mind. That's like really detailed. Really, depending on the detail, that's another thing too. Level of detail and the level of time, and it's like practicality. I think, you know, it was like a fancy fairy garden kind of like detailed house. It was really beautiful. Okay, another tip is that I would say to get rich is, this one's kind of a little bit of a long-term game, but it is worth it. As you can probably see from my profile, I have a lot of eggs. Now you might be thinking, why do you have that many eggs? Why didn't you just hatch them? Now if you don't know, the gumball egg, which arrives like basically changes ever so often in adoptme. Let me just show you real quick. Now the gumball egg, which currently has the Aztec eggs, sorry. Basically it swaps every, I think every 3 to 4 months. I mean, the garden egg we did have for nearly almost like what, a year or so, I think. I don't know, we had it for a very long time. Bear in mind, it swaps ever so often, and once that Aztec egg leaves, it's never returning. So all the pets from it will become rare. However, I know that people collect the eggs, like especially, to give an example, the Christmas egg, the Aussie egg, fossil egg, farm egg. The top 3 most looked for eggs are the safari egg, jungle egg, and also farm egg and Christmas egg, because, well, Christmas time. But those 3 are really worth a lot. Like, I mean, a lot. And like, obviously I've traded for them, but I had to give a lot as well. But that's it though. If they were in the gumball machine at one point, if I would have been there for that and I would have, you know, bought them and then held on to them, right now I would have get loads of offers for it, you know what I mean, and definitely overpay. So holding on to eggs, especially those ones, can be very useful. Oh, another thing though is tip number 4, I think, is this one is collect as many items from an event. Collecting items from events can be so useful, as literally, no joke, it can be so useful, especially like power items, or just in general, just items in general, like toys and stuff. Like this tombstone right here that I have is so valuable. Well, not valuable, but like it is worth something kind of thing, you know what I mean? As well, I feel like this flamingo feather might become valuable because it's the first ever teleporter in adoptme. Over time, I feel like it might be worth more. Even though it was very, very, very cheap to get, I feel like it's still, in time, could be worth more. Depending on the age of it, on how old it is, and depending on how many people got it, could, in time, be worth a lot more. Like the tombstone. And I think the flamingo feather will be the next thing to be like worth a lot more over time though. But time will tell. And again, will vary, you know. Some people might not like the teleporter, but it just depends. So yeah, no, those are my tips and tricks on how to get rich. That's all of that I know. But yeah, honestly, it's one of those things. Hopefully this helps you get rich in adoptme. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you got your own how to get rich tips in adoptme, and let's see. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what was your favorite tip, and yeah, bye.